Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk, back again with another Sunday scoring project, and this time it's what I've called a reverse gatefold card. I showcased this on my blog a little while ago, and people thought it worked well. So rather than folding at the front, it folds like this, so that you've actually got a little bit of a zigzag going on. It's a really simple straightforward fold with only literally just a few folds, and so you could use any stamp set you wanted. And what I've used here is the lovely birthday blossoms, and it's got a coordinating punch for the flower, but if you hadn't got the punch you could have cut out by hand if you wanted to. Lovely leaves and some really useful sentiments as well. So on with the make. This one is in Flirty Flamingo with a bit of DSP, as well as ink all over it now from where I've just smudged it, and this is some of the Eastern Palace DSP, but I thought it would be useful to make one using just cardstock. Not everybody has a designer series paper, so I thought we'd just do a very straightforward one and actually go for some fresh fig as well for a slightly different colourway. So to start off with then, you're going to need a piece of cardstock which is 27 by 10.5 centimetres, 11 by 4 1/8, and you're going to score at 7, at 10, at that horrible 17, I'll come back to how an easy way to do that, and at 20, which you just can't quite see. So on the stamping trimmer, 17 falls at a horrible point in here. So 16 is just here, here's 18. So I always go 18, so that's 17.5, and just bring it back. The other way you can do it is by reversing your card, and this is the way I tend to do it because it's just so much easier. So you've actually got 7 centimetres already done, and just reverse it to do 10. So rather than fiddling around in here, if you've got an awkward one, it's often worth flipping the cardstock and seeing if you can do it the other way. So that's our card base. It's as simple as that, and you're just going to fold all of these in the direction of your score line to start off with, okay, and then reverse that one back. Okay, so there's our card base, simple as that. Next we need to create our layers. So what I'm going to do is I've pre-cut some cardstock, and I'm going to use some Old Olive. The scoring in inches: 2 3/4, 4, 7 and 8 1/4. Panels are actually, all three are exactly the same, which is why I did those measurements as I did, so it didn't quite join. All of the panels are 6.5 by 10 centimetres, and you need 3 of those for the front. That's 2 3/4 by 3 7/8, and I'm going to go ahead and attach those using our snail. So it's flat on flat, so snail will do the job. And our next piece. And then our third piece. Over on the side here. Okay, so that's going to make our card base. Then you're going to need 3 pieces of Whisper White cardstock, and I've just used the ordinary here, not the watercolour, because with a little bit of water you can still stamp. And you'll notice on my original card I've actually stamped in Sahara Sand, and then I've used the Flirty Flamingo to colour in. But I'm just going to show you a technique on here to get the same effect without having to do, without having to have too many inks available to you. So you're going to need your stamp and your piece of card. And I'm going to start off by doing the centre panel and the flowers. So I'm going to use fresh fig for the flower, and I'm going to use garden green. And what I've done with with this stamp set is you can just see it, hopefully, a little mark in there. And what I've done is I've put that on to show the orientation of the punch. And I'm going to stamp a single flower just in the middle here, and it doesn't matter which way around it goes for this. I'm just going to pop it in there. But what I'm going to do is stamp a separate one, but make sure that it's got that little mark vertically, because that will help me align it with my punch when I come to punch it out. So we're going to do the watercolouring as we always do, but so just partly close your box, don't completely close it, give it a quick squeeze and we get our puddle of ink. Aqua painter, and I'm just going to do the pale colour first, so I'm just going to come in and obviously it will get paler as you have more water, so you'll get some natural sort of shading already, and do that on both of those. And you're going to do two on that you're going to punch out. I'm just doing one just for demonstration here. And if ever you think it's getting a little bit wet, I've shown you before, just get a tissue and just blot. That takes any excess. And then what I do is I come in on the real sort of dark, and where the extra little lines are on the stamp is where I'm going to add in just a little accent, because you've kind of got the indication of the shading already. So again, just come in there. And then I'm going to do the centres of these flowers. And you could use whatever yellow you wanted. I've got some Daffodil Delight here. So just come in with this centre, like so. And it's a very forgiving technique. So if you remember, that was the way we stamped it, and you'll see when I put that in there, which I will need a post-it note for, that then matches up with just a little bit of a turn. So all I'm going to do is come in and punch that out. And then for shaping, wait till it's dry, but once it's dry, pop it on. This is you can use your stamping pierce mat. I'm using a piece of out of the case for the stamps, and just shape those on the reverse and then give them a little bit of a push. So those are our two flowers. Now we've got our centre in there, we can come in with our leaves. I'm just going to do the same. So with the old olive, I'm just going to pop that in there, like so, and up on the top there. And again, you could add in as many leaves as you wanted. Then the same technique again, just with a little bit of a brush, just colour those in, and you can see how quick and easy it is to get some really pretty shading. And then all you need then is to pop a mini dimensional, I've got it here, onto the reverse of those flowers, and layer those up. Like so. And there we have our centre panel. So just a little glue on the back there. And we can come in, and our card then all of a sudden springs to life. And obviously, because of the way the card is, what you could do if you wanted is actually add extra flowers that overlapped if you wanted to. The side panel is a very similar technique. So you're just going to take your card. Again, it's a piece of Whisper White. This is the flower, the stamp set. So I'm just going to stamp that in the corner there, and then turn it around to create a draw a panel. And then again, come in and you can colour those. And you can literally just come in with your brush and you'll find really sort of quite thorough. I mean, you can take as much time as you want. The reason I'm doing this with the aqua painter is just because I sort of quite like that sort of slightly watercolour effect, and the fact that you get different shades just with one ink colour. But you could obviously use your blender pen if you wanted to, and use that to draw in the colour. If you wanted it sort of much paler, you can draw the colour in just from the outside of those flowers. And that works particularly well on our shimmery white cardstock as well. So there we go. See there where I've picked up the fresh, it's quite dark. But if you wanted to, you could layer a sentiment on the front here, over the top of these panels. There we go. So that's kind of most of the flowers coloured in. And again, just for a little accent, clean the brush off and just come in with some dots of yellow in the centre there for those cards. For those flowers. It'll be one of those days today where I couldn't quite get in the crafty zone, so. And now obviously you'll take a little more time than this when you're doing yours. But that's our panel done, and I've already created a panel here as well, so you only have to watch me create one. Just layer that panel onto your old olive. And of course, because you've got these coordinating inks, you will find everything just works together really well. And then all that's left is a panel for our reverse. So this one I've kept slightly bigger, so it's just going to stand there. I'm not going to layer that up, but you could layer that up if you wanted to. And just come in with your sentiment. Yeah. I'm just going to use the Celebrate You. And I'm going to use the same ink, but just use those stamped off once to give us just a paler effect and still leave you space to write to the recipient. Okay, pop, use our snail on the back there. Make sure our card's the right way up, although on this one actually it doesn't matter too much. And there we have a very simple fancy fold card for you to give. Flirty Flamingo and Fresh Fig, and those will fit in a standard envelope ready for you to pop in the post. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you want any of the supplies, you can visit my Stampin' Up shop, heidismith.stampinup.net, or follow the link in the description bar below. Hopefully I'm back on track with in focus videos now, so come back and see me again soon. Bye, crafty hugs.